Tell the truth. When you walk into a store and a salesperson approaches you and they begin to talk about the sales or whatever, ask you questions, do you immediately give them some kind of reason not to engage with you? You try to dismiss them and move on about your shopping in the store? Well, most times they're going to come back with some type of response to you. And it could be that they're trying to handle your objection. Well, today we're going to be talking about overcoming the objections of the customer. This is step 4 in providing a solution. So let's go. You're listening to Marketing Adventure, the hub for business, fashion, marketing, and other CTE educators who integrate marketing into the learning experience. I'm your host, Jackie Walker. Each week, I'll cover marketing education concepts, strategies, tips, trends, frameworks, and other information to equip you to connect your classroom to digital natives while cultivating an engaged learning environment. So come on into the room where your favorite beverage, snacks, and even your cell phone are all welcome. So as I stated before, many times salespeople are met with objections from the potential customer. And these are simply reasons why the customer is hesitant to make a purchase. Well, in step 4, providing the solution to objections, this is a part of the selling process. We are going to talk about some things to consider about objections, and then I'm going to give you some ways to overcome the objections. So here's some things to consider. It may be spoken or unspoken, the objection that the customer is giving to you. They may simply say, no, thank you, or they may ignore you, or other things that they could do to simply object the salesperson's approach to them. It could be logical or psychological as to why they are objecting. Maybe what is being presented to them is just not what they need or want. Psychological, it could be that they have an aversion to maybe the person or the product that is being presented. It may relate to the actual product. It could relate to the price of the product. It could be the store, the time, the salesperson. It could be a variety of things as to why they are objecting to what's being presented to them. It can occur at any time. The objection can occur at any time within the sale process. And objections should not be looked at negatively by the sales personnel. They actually should be welcomed because it gives them an opportunity to go deeper into the sales process or even educate the customer on some things that they may not be aware of. Now, to handle an objection, you need to listen, acknowledge, restate what the customer is saying, and then answer the objection. And that's what we're going to talk about now, the answers, responses to objections. Now, there are 6 objections that we're going to talk about, 6 ways to overcome the objections that we're going to talk about today. The first technique that I'm going to talk about is the boomerang technique. Now, this is when the objection comes back to the customer as a selling point. Now, for instance, they may be looking at shirts and blouses, and you may show them something that's coral, and they may be like, I really don't like that color. I don't have anything in that color. You can say, well, this is the color of the year. This is what is on trend. This is what was showcased in the fall fashion shows in New York. And this is what is going to be on trend coming up. So you can bring that back to them, and it may pique their interest because who wants to be on trend? Most everybody wants to be on trend. Hardly anybody wants to be behind the times as far as fashion is concerned. So you bring it back up to them as as a selling point. It's on trend. It's the lowest price it's ever been. Whatever it is that they're objecting to, you bring that back as a positive selling point. That is boomerang. Boomerang means you throw it out there and it comes back to you. And so that's what they're doing. They're throwing their objection out about a particular thing, and you're bringing it back to them as a selling point. So the second technique for handling an objection is the question technique, which should be employed at all times. You simply ask the customer questions in an attempt to learn more about the objection that was raised. Now, they could have said, I'm not quite sure if that would look good on me. You can say, well, what is your preferred style? What occasion are you shopping for? Would you like to try this on? There's different things that you could say to them, but you're asking them questions so you can more specifically meet their needs, and bring up maybe some features and benefits of the item so that they can be more interested in what you are saying to them about the product. Now, with the question technique, you are asking them questions so that you can better help meet their needs or overcome their objections about the product. You could be showing them a variety of items. Let's say they're shopping for a special occasion, and they need something that's more formal. So they could come up with objections like, this is too short, or does it fit my body type? And so you can begin to ask them questions so you can have more clarity. What is the occasion? Is it formal? Is it black tie? Is it business casual? Is there a color theme? Or are you going to be wearing high heels or flats? What is your partner wearing? What are your girlfriends wearing? So you can begin to ask those various questions so you can help overcome the objection of them not being certain about the item that they should purchase for that special occasion. So employ questions so that you can have more options and ideas that come up for you as the salesperson so that you can present them with items that they're more likely to be interested in. And the third technique is called superior point. Now, this is when you acknowledge their objection as being a valid objection, but then you offset it with other features and benefits. So, for instance, we're going to keep on with the formal dress. So they may say, well, this may be too form fitting and it accentuates, my body imperfections. And then you can highlight some features. Well, it has a peplum waistline, so it can hide any kind of bulge that you may have, or it accentuates your hips, or it cinches your waist, so you're giving, you're highlighting a feature, the peplum waistline, and you're telling the benefits of having a peplum waistline. Or maybe it's a mermaid style dress, and you say, well, it helps your, figure look more like an hourglass, or it draws the eye down to the fishtail of the mermaid style dress. It could be a variety of things, but you want to highlight the features and tell them, translate that feature into a benefit, as we discussed in our last episode. You want to translate that feature into a benefit so that they can see how beneficial it is to have these different features in the item, and how it may detract from other flaws that they may be considering when they're looking at the item. So superior point is going to point out some higher level things about the item and help distract the consumer from looking at the flaws that they see or the objections that they may be coming up with in their own mind. Now, the fourth technique is called direct denial. This is when you provide proof and accurate information in the answers to the objections. So, people may come in and somebody may say, well, I heard that those shoes run small. Well, let me tell you about this shoe. It actually runs normal to size, and because of the shape of the toe box, it allows for, a wider foot to fit into it, or it has support, that cushioned sole, all these different things. You can come up with more accurate information because maybe someone that they know had a wide foot and it couldn't fit in there, and maybe the shoebox is not as wide to accommodate wide feet. Maybe because of the pointed toe, it's a little bit longer than a shoe that size would be. So it can accommodate, more, have more space in the toe box for someone's foot. So there's just a variety of things that you can tell a customer about a product. You want to overcome that objection by giving them the accurate information. So you want to provide proof to them. You want to provide accuracy in the information about the product. And that's when your knowledge, your merchandise knowledge, is going to come into play. So you really need to understand your products and your services so that when someone comes in and gives you this untruth of information, then you would be able to come back with them and come back to them and say, actually, this is what the product has. These are the features and the benefits of the product. So that is direct denial. Now, the fifth technique is demonstration. And this is probably one of the most, one of the better techniques to use because you're actually demonstrating the product to the consumer. You may be showing them how to use it. You may be showing them how to wear it. I mean, you can involve them in the whole thing by using them as the mannequin as you maybe take a scarf and show them how to tie it and wrap it, or the various ways in which that scarf can be used as an accessory. You can have them to go into the dressing room and try it on. There's a lot of ways that you can demonstrate. You yourself can put it on, or maybe you're wearing the item as a salesperson and you can start pointing out to them, this is what it does, this is how it feels, and all this kind of stuff. So you want to definitely engage demonstration in the process of overcoming someone's objection about a product. Now, the sixth and final way to handle an objection is called third party. And what this does is you engage someone else. So maybe you've gotten the customer into the dressing room and they're like, oh, I really don't know if this looks really good on me. They come out of the dressing room, you're talking about how the outfit fits them or what have you, and they're, having doubts about how it looks. So you engage another salesperson and say, hey, come here, tell me what you think about how this fits her, what have you. And they begin to give their feedback. You may engage another customer who's in the dressing room also trying on something, and maybe they're trying on the same thing. You never know. But you are getting other people to give feedback about how this product either looks on the customer, or giving their own feedback about, oh yeah, I purchased one of those and yes, it does fit this way. It does, it is on trend or what have you. Whatever it is, you're getting other people besides yourself to give feedback to the customer about the product. All right, so that wraps up our discussion on handling objections. There are, I'm sure, other ways in which you can handle objections, but these are the six: boomerang, question technique, superior point, direct denial, demonstration, and third party. Those are the six techniques that I've taught over the years in the whole selling process, and they're very usable to this day in a selling environment. So I hope this information has been very beneficial for you. We are wrapping up step 4. We're moving on into closing the sale. So come back next week where we're going to talk about how to close the sale. I do thank you for joining me today at Marketing Adventure with Jackie, and I hope that you have a wonderfully blessed day. Thanks for listening to Marketing Adventure. Remember to subscribe, rate, review, and share this episode with someone you think would benefit from the information shared here today. If you have any questions or want to connect with me, find me on Instagram at Marketing Adventure. All links and resources discussed in this episode can be found in the show notes at marketingadventure.com.